If you find yourself in Carroll, and if you're getting hungry or even hangry, head on over to Culver's and get yourself a butter burger, chicken strips, cheese curds, and don't forget that frozen custard. Great food at a great price, served by a great staff. Culver's and Carroll, welcome to Delicious. Proud presenting partner of the IMCA Sport Compacts at the Crawford County Speedway. All right, it is now time for heat race action. Heat one of your Culver Sport Compacts. On the pole, that's Tanner Beam. To the outside, that is Cody Gordon. Trent Reed, Cody Cooper, row 2. Tyler Feeblecorn, your current national points leader, row 3. And, nope. Stubby didn't like that one. And when Stooby-Dooby-Doo don't like it, we don't go.
PJ, do we have any say in that, or do we just report the facts?
Just like you do, reporting the news. You know, the old Dragnet line, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. Which, don't forget about that, folks. We don't actually make any of the calls up here. If you have a problem and somebody makes a call you don't like, please don't come up here. We don't have any say in it. We just tell you what we see. Green flag is out. We are racing, and Tanner Beam, unfortunately, getting a rough start as he gets bulldogged by the entire field. It's going to be Tyler Feeblecorn with the early advantage. Cody Gordon in there in second. Currently sitting in third. That's going to be Trent Reed. Cody Cooper now trying to get up to Reed as looks like Gordon is going to be side by side with Feeblecorn. And who's going to lead lap 1? It's going to be Cody Gordon leading lap 1.
Gordon leads them into 1 and 2 for the second lap. Feeblecorn still trying the inside. Gordon down the back chute, out in front, extending the lead to a couple car lengths, going into 3 and 4 this time. Feeblecorn drifts up the racetrack again in 3 and 4, and look out on the bottom. Here comes Trent Reed.
Reed on the bottom side, digging like Dale. As right now, Cody Gordon, your current leader, but Feeblecorn now gets bounced back to third as Reed's going to get by him. Reed now setting his target sights directly on the back bumper of the 55G of Cody Gordon. They're going to come down, see 3 laps to go this time by with Reed right in the tire tracks of Gordon.
Halfway home as Gordon continues to maintain his lead out front. Reed comfortably in the runner-up position, a little farther down the racetrack than the 55G as they once again string out down the back straightaway. Pretty consistently 2 or 3 car lengths between each position right now, but Reed is making a charge.
Cody Gordon still leading. Trent Reed is going to the whip. He's whipping that Cavalier like a ready government plow mule as he is gaining ground on the 55G as of right now. They're going to come out and they're going to see 1 lap to go. Cody Gordon, but he's got Reed right on his tail.
It's a dry, slick racetrack out there. We're going to find out who the real wheel men and women are before the end of the night at the Crawford County Speedway. Gordon around turn number 2, down the back straightaway for the final time, into 3 and 4. Reed will try one more time, but it's not going to be enough. Cody Gordon comes off turn number 4 to win heat race number 1.
Cody Gordon is going to win. Trent Reed in second. Tyler Feeblecorn third. Fourth is going to go to Cody Cooper, and rounding out the field is going to be Tanner Beam. I don't know if Dylan Houston is in the Malberg community car, but Dave Malberg's number 18 is tail in Charlie, and I don't see the 57 out there, so I'm wondering if maybe, just maybe, and maybe I can get confirmation on that, Dylan Houston borrowing the Malberg community car, as I call it, because, you know, if Dave's not driving it, then whoever needs it just grabs it and goes.
Green flag on heat race number 2. Leading into turn number 1 is that number 9 car as they all kind of slide up the racetrack, but going down the hill pretty well was Kane Malberg. To the inside goes Kane. Slides up a little bit, side by side. Drag race off of turn number 4 for the lead to the flag stand.
Heading down in turn number 1 for lap number 2, it is a former track champion, Tony Kirker, A little bit sideways, though. That opens the door for Kane the Bandit Malberg. Bandit going to take his way. He is now going to go from behind the snowman to running for blocker for 400 case to course. Oh, contact between Kurger and the 13 of Gage Riesdorf.
Staying committed to the line. He was running. Took him right into the left rear quarter panel. And comfortably back into the runner-up spot is Kurger down the back straightaway as Malberg takes advantage and takes a half dozen car length lead. Kurger into the second spot, a challenge for third, possibly on the outside, coming from Ransom on Riesdorf.
Super rookie Colton Ransom now trying to look to the outside of the Gage cluster. Gage Riesdorf, not going to happen. Riesdorf gets a sizable gap going through 1 and 2. Now he's going to go back up to Kurger. We'll see if he touched him in the no-no square once again, as he got Kurger way sideways last time. 2 laps to go. It's still the Bandit, Kane Malberg, with the lead.
Points leader of heat race number 2, showing the way right now and opening it up to almost half a straightaway. Dominant as he will come to the white flag off of 3 and 4, this time by the Bandit. Putting a hurting on him.
Malberg just has to survive 3/8 of a mile as he goes through 1 and 2. Kurger second, Riesdorf third, Ransom fourth. And the 18, who I can only think is Dylan Houston, rounding out the field. They're going to come through 3 and 4 one more time. And the Bandit picks up where he left off last week, where he left off on Wednesday. Kane Malberg wins. Tony Kurger second. Gage Riesdorf third. Colton Ransom fourth. And we're going to call it Dylan Houston rounding out the top 5.
From Unionville in the 81L, Laramie Jackson. And on the outside pole, Tanner Reimer from Slushwig in the number 28.
Row number 2 to the inside. That is going to see the 72H of Micaiah Hildebaugh. And to the outside, where's all my Stapleton fans at? I said, where's all my Stapleton fans at? The 10 of Mike Stapleton.
Number 3, Mike Albertson from Audubon in the 5th spot. And then on the outside of row number 3, Ryan Webb from right here in Denison in the ZR1.
Your final row is going to be one to watch as the 92B of old Flying Brian Blessington in the 63 of Mike Nichols. Looks like Laramie Jackson opting to start from the rear. That's going to move Hildebaugh, Albertson, and Blessington up there. We are green. 8 cars, 8 laps the distance. It is going to be Micaiah Hildebaugh with the early advantage, but here comes Mike Albertson. Old Wahoo's going to be side by side. Here comes the 92B of Blessington, and it looks like we got one around. It's the 28 of Tanner Reimer. Tanner Reimer, the 28 car, going around on the back stretch, and the caution will be out.
He gets up into the wall. They were running hard for position off of turn number 2 that time. You can see the damage to the right front.
Heat race rules, you're one and done. You bring out one caution, you are done. So that is now going to move Mike Stapleton, Ryan Webb, and Mike Nichols all each up a row. So now it's Micaiah Hildebaugh and Mike Stapleton. Row 2 is now row 1.
Green flag. Hildebaugh once again leads him into turn number 1. Now going upstairs is Mike Stapleton trying to make the run down the back straightaway. He'll fade a little bit. Hildebaugh remains in the lead. Now trying to go inside. Maybe a little bit of contact through 3 and 4 that time. For the second spot, they are side by side all the way back in the field.
Webb and Stapleton side by side. Now Stapleton going to take a look to the high side as he is going to dispense of Webb. He's going to pull up beside Hildebaugh. He's up to the quarter. Can't quite get it going, though. Hildebaugh going to get in front of... Oh, wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to get ready to push it 3 wide. Hildebaugh, the meat and the sandwich for a second. It was going to be a bun made up of Webb and Stapleton, but they thought better of him. But Hildebaugh still with the lead.
Stapleton with a great run down the front straightaway that time. He momentarily noses forward. It is 3 wide off of turn number 2 that time into turn number 3. Webb still on the bottom. Hildebaugh squeezed out slightly. Stapleton still trying to use the top shelf.
The IMCA stock cars are the class too damn tough to tame, and this is why, folks. Doesn't matter how many of them there are. If there's 2 or more, They're going to put on a show. Ryan Webb now with the new leader. Mike Stapleton in second. Hildebaugh sitting back there in third. Here comes Mike Nichols in fourth. Mike Albertson, Oahu, sitting in fifth. But right now, they're going to come down to 4 laps to go. Halfway home, 4 down, 4 to go. And it's Ryan Webb now with the lead.
You can throw a blanket over the battle for what's going to be the runner-up spot here between 2, 3, and 4 positions on the field. Stapleton, Hildenbaugh, and Nichols. Nichols trying the low side, but everybody wants to be down there right now. Webb trying the top shelf slightly off of 3 and 4. This time, 2 to go.
As we have 3 laps to go, Ryan Webb currently leading, but he is starting to actually gap the 10 of Mike Stapleton just a little bit. Right behind Stapleton, he had better get to cracking as, never mind. Caution's going to come out. We have the 81L Laramie Jackson around. I was just going to say Stapleton better go to the whip as he had Hildebaugh and Nichols battling side by side, but all is for naught.
That I don't recognize, and that's actually good to see too, because you get some variety in the field and anything can happen. Webb almost set to bring him back to green. As they come into turn 4, the race is on again.
Webb going to drag the whole field down the front stretch into turn number 1. 3 laps to go. Slinging it down in there as he is going to build a little bit of a gap. Now as they come out to Stapleton going to the whip, not quite able to gain any ground up on Webb. In fact, loses a little bit, but is able to get ahead of the battle for 3rd and 4th, which is Mike Nichols now trying to dispense of Micaiah Hildebaugh. As right now, 2 laps to go, it's still Ryan Webb with the lead.
Nichols methodically climbing his way through the field. Webb has opened it up by a few car lengths now. Stapleton trying to give it all she's got down the back straightaway and catch up, but look out. Don't look now, but Nichols will go to the inside and try to keep the car straight and make it side by side off of 3 and 4 for the runner-up spot to the white flag.
It is the Mike and Mike show for the 2nd and 3rd place spot. Now, I'm not talking about the cheesy ESPN show either. You got Mike Nichols to the inside, Mike Stapleton to the outside. Give the spot to Nichols. But I'll tell you what, Nichols gets in second. He is not going to have anywhere near enough time to even come close to catching the leader. As Ryan Webb's going to come out of 4 win the heat race. Mike Nichols in second, Mike Stapleton third. Micaiah Hildebaugh is in 4th, and rounding out that field, wahoo, Mike Albertson. Crawford County Speedway. It is time to get up and on your feet. Let them hear you. Give them a wave. Make some noise. It is your A feature for your Culver Sport Compacts on Denison Drywall Night. And I got to say, sometimes you got to love kids. My daughter and her sister went down for the candy grab and went to go get a couple waters afterward. My daughter brought me some Skittles after talking about Jeff Wiggins' car, so thank you.
Pace truck is off. Lights are out. Into 3 and off of 4. Here we go for the Culver Sports Compacts.
Green flag is out, and once again, Tanner Beam not able to get a good start. The field is going to split him as he is going to fall to the back. Right now, it is going to be the Gage cluster, Gage Riesdorf, as he is going to take the lead. But right now, the inside, you got Gordon on the outside. Riesdorf, the meat and the sandwich for a moment as he is once again. Here comes Dylan Houston in the 57. It is Gordon, Houston, and then here comes Trent Reed once again, 3 wide as Cody Gordon bobbles just a little bit. He's going to hold up Riesdorf. It is going to be lap 1 goes to the 18. That is Dylan Houston.
3 and even 4 wide back through the field throughout that first lap. Out front now in the purple 28, it's Trent Reed. He is upstairs, though. Over to the inside. Takes the lead off 3 and 4.
As Trent Reed, Dylan Houston side by side. Great battle for the lead as they fire it back down into 1. Here comes the bandit, Kane Malberg. Once again, picked up the feature win last week here in Denison. Current points leader also picked up the feature win up at the Buena Vista Raceway, the Beaver, on Wednesday night. And he is now looking under the family community car driven by Dylan Houston for the lead.
Dead even at the flag stand that time, but Malberg takes it in 1 and 2. Trying the crossover maneuver is Houston. Cody Gordon to the pit area on the front straightaway. He will limp it into the infield. Malberg community car underneath the Bandit, but it's Kane off of 3 and 4 downstairs once again, side by side for the lead.
Kane, the Bandit Malberg, he's going to bring it down as we are only 1 lap away from halfway. 6 laps to go. Malberg now starting to pull away from the 18. That is Houston. Reed in 3rd. Kerger in 4th. And right now, Cody Cooper rounding out that top 5. Although he is under pressure from the Gage cluster, Gage Riesdorf.
Don't look now, but as you mentioned, Reed to the inside for the runner-up position. He stays on the bottom, and he's able to get the run off the corner down the back straightaway, side by side for the 2nd spot. Reed noses ahead, but has to slow it into the corner. We are still side by side. Reed once again ahead off of turn number 4.
Reed is going to have the advantage slightly as they fire under the flag stand down to 3 and 4. But once again, here comes Dylan Houston battling back to the outside. Great battle for 2nd and 3rd going on behind Cade Malberg, your leader. Now Reed is going to take sole possession of that 2nd place spot as looks like Houston going to try to get back to the outside. Not going to happen. 3 laps to go. Malberg still leads.
Malberg leads. Riesdorf finally, well, at least momentarily, won a war for the 5th spot, as you can throw a blanket over that battle. Reed comfortably in the runner-up position now. As we're rounding out the podium right now, it's Houston. Kane Malberg to the 2 to go.
Green flag high in the air for Kane the Bandit Malberg. I'll tell you, Malberg has always been fast, but this year he is absolutely unstoppable. Whether he's driving his own green machine or driving his brother Shannon's car right now, as he did Wednesday night as well. He is just absolutely on fire as he's going to fire under the flag stand. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for Malberg.
Malberg into 1 and 2 for the final time. Still 3 wide for 5th. And contact from Riesdorf to Feeblecorn forces him up the racetrack. Down the back straightaway is the leader for the final time. Keep an eye on the battle for the 5th position. Keep your head on a swivel, though, if you want to see the Bandit, Kane Malberg, come down to complete a win.
Kane Malberg going to win. Trent Reed in 2nd. 3rd's going to go to Dylan Houston. 4th to Tony Kerger. Now we got a 3-car battle going for 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's going to be Cody Cooper with 5th. Cooper will take home 5th. What a battle that was. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again. Crawford County Speedway. Everybody up and on your feet. And in honor of my good friend Jimmy Scott, start waving. Yo! Hoorah! Jimmy, that's for you sitting in your Ashley recliner back home in Columbus, Nebraska. Speaking of which, Jimmy Scott will be here on July 16th filling in for me as I have prior commitments. So Jimmy Scott used to be an announcer here. 92B flying Brian Blessington and Mike Nichols will be in row number 3.
Row number 4, 81L Laramie Jackson and Tanner Reimer of Suswig in the 28 to round out the field.
15 laps the distance. We are stock car racing. As they fire it off down to 1-2, it is still side by side, 3 rows deep. Now Little Rubbins racing 3 wide as they come out of turn number 2. It was Stapleton and Wahoo on the outside. Micaiah Hildebaugh, the meat and the sandwich. Now it looks like a little bit of contact between Wahoo and the ZR1 Ryan Webb. But Mike Stapleton is going to lead lap number 1.
Mike Stapleton out in front of the Calamity in the top spot. Not giving up is Wahoo off of the turn 2 run. But Stapleton was able to guard the bottom well enough to cut it off. And he will continue to lead the way through 3 and 4 this time. Side by side for 3rd. Nichols wants it.
As they go down back into 1 and 2 once again, it is Stapleton with the lead. Albertson sees an opening, tries to take it, gets the door shut in his face for his troubles. Here comes Nichols. Nichols now up to third as Webb going to try and drive back to the outside once again. Then you got the 92B of Blessington and Micaiah Hildebaugh rounding out that field.
Nichols sticking his nose to the inside of Albertson, and a little bit of contact once again for Webb from Blessington. Possible contact as he is in a drag race for the 5th position down the back straight this time. Oh, trouble for Reimer over here, and he will pull it to the infield in turn number 4, and the caution flag is out.
And looks like Tanner Reimer going to call no joy, pull it pit side, be done for the evening.
Webb has been shuffled back a couple times by some good hard racing.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Micaiah Hildebaugh, kind of the big loser in that deal as he started on the pole, now sitting back in 6th. But right now we have thrice the mics, all the fun. Stapleton, Albertson, and Nichols, 1, 2, and 3. Green is back out. We are racing with 12 to go as they go down through 1 and 2. Once again, Mike Stapleton with the advantage. Albertson is going to clear Nichols right now. He's going to park himself right on the back bumper of that 10 car. As they go down into 3 and 4, Ryan Webb now gets around the 92B of Blessington. Blessington trying to battle back to the outside. Not going to happen. It is still going to be Mike Stapleton continuing to lead.
Nichols has found his way to the bottom side of the racetrack, or at least tried to, right there on the left rear quarter panel of the 3 car, but can't quite make a run as the top spot is still Stapleton's. He goes down, protects the line. Albertson not giving up.
Stapleton, he just watched his youngest baby boy win just a little bit ago in the hobby stocks. He wants a trophy of his own right now, which will probably end up in his granddaughter Savannah's bedroom. But right now it is still Stapleton. Now Nichols goes to the inside of Albertson. Battle is on for 2nd and 3rd.
Stapleton stretches it out slightly. Wahoo still in that 2nd spot. Nichols wants it all over the back bumper of that 3 car. Blessington, don't count him out for at least the next position as Nichols goes top and tries to get the run down to the bottom. But they remain the same running order off of 4.
8 laps to go. So far, Stapleton building up a slight advantage over Albertson. It is not a big gap by any stretch of the imagination. One little bobble and it could go away, but Albertson now starting to put a little bit of a gap between him and Nichols as Nichols now getting some pressure from Blessington for that 3rd place spot.
Micaiah Hildebaugh into the top 5 on that previous lap into 1 and 2. Albertson does slip up a little bit. Nichols trying to keep his nose down there to the inside down the back straightaway. He does. Into 3 and 4. Look out, Blessington to the top shelf. Whatever's there, he's going to try to lean on it. Somehow, he's still in the 2nd spot as the number 3.
Albertson, I don't know, he gained and lost that spot about 5 or 6 different times as now you got Nichols and Blessington side by side right behind Albertson. While all this is happening, Stapleton is walking away. He is going to be 5 laps to go this time by. Can he continue to gap the rest of the field, and are we going to see him pick up a feature victory?
Blessington was trying to go where they weren't and pick up a position or 2, but he remains in 4th. Nichols right there. You can not maybe even put a sheet of paper between Nichols and the back bumper of Wahoo, but he's still got the 2nd spot. Oh, we got trouble over in 1 as Laramie Jackson comes to a stop. An injured race car as he was giving it all she had to stay in the race here. But with 5 to go, we got a yellow. He gets it re-fired and going.
What about old Wahoo, Mike Albertson? What about Mike Nichols? What about old flying Brian Blessington? All right, now Smart Money is on Stapleton with 5 to go. Green is out. The good news is there's only 5 to go. Bad news is everybody is now right back on the tail of the 10. Here comes Albertson to the inside of Stapleton as he is going to worm his way right in there. Stapleton not quite going to make it as he is going to get eaten up. He is now the meat in the sandwich. Nichols to the outside, Blessington to the inside. That'll fall him back to 4th as here comes Micaiah Hildebaugh trying to get underneath of him for 5th. It is Albertson to the inside, Nichols to the outside. Albertson not able to clear Nichols. Nichols is up to Albertson's quarter to the door. Oh, Blessington tries sticking his nose in there. Thought better of it, but at the line it's going to be Nichols with the advantage.
Nichols takes over and gets to the bottom side of the racetrack to protect that lead. Albertson will try to go back after him. Stapleton not giving up into the 3rd position once again, nosing ahead into 3 and 4, trying to get to the back bumper of Albertson. Nichols to 2 to go.
Mike Nichols in a familiar spot up front, 2 to go. It is still Albertson with Stapleton, Blessington, and Hildebaugh right there behind him. As he's going to head it down into 3 and 4. Wide flag is going to come out from Chief Starter Matt Stubbe. This time by 1 lap to go.
In the 1 and 2 for the final time under green. Nichols off of 2 down the back straightaway. A strong run for him. He takes full advantage of a late race restart, does Mike Nichols, and he'll come off a 4 for the final time to get the feature win here tonight.
Nichols is going to win. Mike Albertson 2nd. Mike Stapleton 3rd. Flying Brian Blessington in 4th. Micaiah Hildebaugh rounds out the top 5.